What if I told you that new trucks are dying faster than 30-year-old beaters? Today we're revealing the 20 pickups so unreliable, even their owners are suing the manufacturers. Number 7, so bad, dealers literally pay people to take them. And the truck at number 1? It's bankrupting owners with $30,000 battery replacement. Number 20, the Suzuki Equator, 2009 to 2012. Let's kick things off with a truck so irrelevant, even Suzuki pretended it never existed. Meet the Suzuki Equator, a Nissan Frontier wearing a cheap suit. Dealers tried to convince buyers this rebadged Frontier was exclusive, but truck fans weren't fooled. In its best year, Suzuki sold fewer than 3,000 of these, and by 2012, they gave up and fled the US market entirely. Why? Because paying extra for a Frontier with a Suzuki badge is like buying a Big Mac and calling it gourmet. Owners quickly learned the hard way. The Equator's resale value dropped faster than a parachute made of cinder block. Consumer Reports called it a solution to a problem that doesn't exist. And mechanics still laugh about the time someone actually brought one in for repairs. I ordered Frontier parts, one tech told me, and just crossed out Nissan on the invoice. Want a real truck? Buy the Frontier. Want to waste money? Light your wallet on fire. It's faster. Number 19, the Mitsubishi Raider, 2006 to 2009. If the Suzuki Equator was a bad joke, the Mitsubishi Raider is the punchline that made everyone leave the room. This truck was Mitsubishi's desperate attempt to stay relevant by rebadging the already failing Dodge Dakota and slapping on a grille that looked like it was designed by a toddler with a crayon. Let's be clear, the Dakota wasn't exactly winning awards, but Mitsubishi somehow made it worse. The Raider sold fewer than 15,000 units in its entire lifespan. To put that in perspective, Ford sold that many F-150s last week. Owners quickly realized they'd bought a truck with the structural integrity of a wet paper towel. The frames rusted faster than a tetanus commercial, the transmissions forgot how to shift, and the 3.7-liter V6 engine guzzled gas like it was trying to drown itself. Consumer Reports called it the automotive equivalent of a B-movie monster, poorly made and best forgotten. One mechanic told me, "Fixing a Raider is like trying to teach a zombie to tap dance. Pointless and slightly terrifying." And the resale value? Let's just say you'd get more money selling the tires separately. Want a real mid-sized truck? Buy a Tacoma. Want to cosplay as a landfill manager? The Raider's all yours. Number 18, the Hummer H3T, 2009 to 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the Hummer H3T, a truck that promised military-grade toughness but delivered mall crawler-grade embarrassment. This is the vehicle for people who want to look like they're storming Baghdad, but actually just storm the Starbucks drive-thru. Let's break down this gas-guzzling disaster. The H3T weighed over 4,700 pounds, got 13 miles per gallon on a good day, and cost $40,000, all to haul less payload than a Honda Ridgeline. That's right, this tough truck couldn't even handle a weekend camping trip without its suspension crying for mercy. Owners reported that the 5.3-liter V8 engine drank fuel like a frat boy at a kegger, while the interior rattled like a maraca band. And the off-road prowess, one buyer took his H3T off-roading and got stuck in a puddle. A mud puddle. Consumer Reports called it the most pointless vehicle of the decade, and dealers practically gave these away with free lifetime therapy sessions. Resale value. Let's just say you'd have better luck selling a used parachute with holes. Want to actually go off-road? Buy a Jeep Gladiator. Want to cosplay as a wannabe warlord? The H3T's waiting, with a tow truck on speed dial. Number 17, the Cadillac Escalade EXT, 2002 to 2013. The truck for people who want to flex at the country club while hauling absolutely nothing. This $75,000 luxury pickup was GM's attempt to convince the world that rich folks needed a truck bed lined with literal carpet. Let that sink in. Carpet in a truck. Because nothing says rugged utility like worrying about red wine stains on your payload area. The EXT sold fewer than 3,000 units a year, mostly to rappers and dentists who quickly realized they'd bought a Suburban with an identity crisis. The air suspension failed if you sneezed too hard. The 6.0-liter V8 drank premium gas like it was Evian, and the electrical system? Let's just say the dashboard lit up like a Christmas tree, but in July. One owner told me, I paid $80,000 for this thing and it couldn't even tow my jet ski without overheating. Consumer Reports called it a rolling midlife crisis, and resale values dropped faster than a TikTok apology tour. By 2013, even Cadillac dealers were begging GM to stop making these. This isn't a shop tool, it's for Escalade EXT owners who spilled latte foam in their truck beds. Number 16, the Lincoln Mark LT, 2006 to 2008. The truck that tried to convince cowboys to wear monocles. This $50,000 luxury pickup was Ford's answer to the question nobody asked. What if a F-150, but with more pretension? Spoiler, it failed, miserably. The Mark LT was just a fancy F-150 with a grille so shiny it blinded highway patrol officers. But here's the kicker, it couldn't even do truck stuff. The suspension sagged under a sack of golf clubs. The 5.4-liter V8 engine wheezed like a chain-smoking opera singer, and the premium leather seats cracked faster than a New Year's resolution. Lincoln sold fewer than 15,000 of these before dealers started offering 2-for-1 deals just to clear the lot. One owner admitted, "I bought it because it matched my Rolex. Then I learned Rolexes don't depreciate 60% in 2 years." Consumer Reports roasted its lawnmower-like reliability, and mechanics still joke that fixing a Mark LT is like giving a facelift to a scarecrow, expensive and pointless. Want a luxury truck? Buy a GMC Sierra Denali. Want to burn cash? Buy this. And a lifetime supply of chrome polish. Number 15, the Nissan Titan XD, 2016 to 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nissan Titan XD, a truck that promised heavy-duty performance but delivered barely functional disappointment. This is the vehicle for people who want to cosplay as a construction worker while actually working in construction. Let's unpack this diesel dumpster fire. Nissan slapped a Cummins turbo diesel engine in this thing, bragging it could tow 12,000 pounds. Reality check. Owners reported engines blowing up before they even hit 60,000 miles. Lawsuits piled up faster than empty Monster Energy cans in a frat house, with Nissan finally admitting the engine had potential catastrophic failure issues. Translation: oops, our bad. And the resale value? Let's just say you'd get more money selling the hubcaps to a scrap yard. Consumer Reports called it the most overpromised, under-delivered truck of the decade, and dealers resorted to offering free lifetime oil changes, which nobody wanted because the truck never lasted long enough to need a second one. Want a real heavy-duty truck? Buy a Ford Super Duty. Want to cosplay as a roadside breakdown? The Titan XD's got your name on it. Number 14, the Chevrolet Colorado, 2004 to 2012. Hold on to your insurance policies, folks, because the mid-2000s Chevy Colorado wasn't just a truck, it was a pyromaniac's dream. This thing had more spontaneous fires than a TikTok arson challenge. GM sold these as compact workhorses, but owners quickly realized they were more like compact dumpster fires. Let's break it down. The 5-cylinder engine sounded like a washing machine full of rocks. The door locks caught fire if you used the key fob too aggressively. Yes, really. One owner said, "I locked my doors at Walmart and came back to a fire truck parked next to mine." Consumer Reports logged over 200 complaints of electrical fires, and GM tried patching the mess with 5 recalls. Steering columns detached mid-drive. Fuel pumps doubled as flamethrowers. Resale value: you'd get more cash scrapping it for parts if the tow truck driver was brave enough to touch it. Want a real small truck? Buy a Tacoma. Want to audition for Fahrenheit 451? The Colorado's your leading man. And number 13, the GMC Canyon, 2004 to 2012. If the Chevy Colorado was a dumpster fire, its twin, the GMC Canyon, was the dumpster after the fire. GM tried to market this as a professional grade truck, but owners quickly realized professional grade meant barely functional. The Canyon's 3.5-liter engine had less power than a Roomba. The steering could ghost ride the truck on its own, and the frame rusted faster than a soda can in the ocean. One owner told me, "I hauled a microwave home, and the suspension gave me a 10% discount at the junkyard." Consumer Reports called it a masterclass in disappointment, and dealers resorted to offering free therapy sessions with every purchase. Resale value: let's just say you'd get more money selling the tires to a circus clown. Want a real mid-sized truck? Buy a Tacoma. Want to cosplay as a landscaper who hates success? The Canyon's ready to crumble. Number 12, the Dodge Dakota, 2005 to 2011. Behold the Dodge Dakota, a truck so rusty it made the Titanic look like a seaworthy masterpiece. This thing rotted faster than a pumpkin in July, with frames dissolving like sugar in a rainstorm. Dodge marketed it as tough, But owners learned tough meant tough to keep out of the junkyard. The 4.7-liter V8 engine sipped oil like a sommelier tasting wine, and the transmission shifted gears like a teenager learning stick shift, grinding, screaming, and eventually giving up. One owner told me, "I parked it on grass once, woke up to it fused with the earth." Consumer Reports ranked it dead last in reliability, and dealers resorted to selling these with free tetanus shots. Resale value? Let's just say you'd get more money selling the radio to a pawn shop. Want a real mid-sized truck? Buy a Ford Ranger. Want to cosplay as a scrap metal collector? The Dakota's already halfway there. Number 11. The Ford Explorer Sport Track, 2001 to 2005 and 2007 to 2010. Meet the Ford Explorer Sport Track, the truck for people who want all the cargo space of a grocery cart and all the reliability of a dollar store umbrella. This glorified SUV with a bed was Ford's attempt to trick suburban dads into thinking they needed a truck. Spoiler, they didn't. The Sport Track's bed was so small, you couldn't even fit a full-size ladder in it. One owner admitted, "I tried hauling a lawnmower. The bed bent like a cheap lawn chair." And let's talk about the 4.0-liter V6 engine. A power plant so anemic, it struggled to merge onto highways without a prayer circle. Timing chain failures? Oh yeah, those happen more often than awkward family reunions. Ford issued 8 recalls, including one for spontaneous door lock fires, because nothing says safety like your truck randomly committing arson. Resale value? Let's just say you'd get more money selling the cup holders on eBay. Want a real family hauler? Buy a Honda Pilot. Want to cosplay as a handyman who hates tools? The Sport Track's got your back until it breaks. Number 10, the Isuzu I-Series, 2006-2008. Meet the Isuzu I-Series, a truck so underwhelming it made watching paint dry look like an extreme sport. This was Isuzu's last gasp in the US market, and boy did they go out with a whimper. The I-Series was just a Chevy Colorado wearing a fake mustache, but somehow worse. The 2.8L engine had less power than a lawnmower, the suspension creaked like a haunted house floorboard, and the durable bed couldn't even handle a bag of leaves without folding like a origami swan. Isuzu sold fewer than 10,000 of these, mostly to unsuspecting landscapers who later learned that hauling anything could blow the engine. One owner told me, "I loaded 2 bags of mulch and the transmission filed for divorce." Consumer Reports called it a zombie truck, dead on arrival but still shuffling. And mechanics still joke that fixing an I-Series is like giving CPR to a skeleton. Resale value? Let's just say you'd get more money selling the tires as Halloween decorations. Want a real workhorse? Buy a Toyota Tacoma. Want to audition for The Walking Dead? The I-Series is your co-star. Number 9, the Jeep Gladiator, 2020-2021. Meet the Jeep Gladiator, the truck that promised rugged adventure but delivered a waterlogged nightmare. Jeep hyped this as the ultimate off-roader, but owners quickly learned it was better at collecting rainwater than conquering trails. Let's break it down. The Gladiator's removable roof, more like a removable liability. Owners reported monsoons pouring into the cabin during light drizzles, electric systems shorting out like a haunted house ride, and the infamous death wobble steering that shook the wheel like a possessed poltergeist. One owner screamed, "I paid $55K for this thing, and it drives like a shopping cart with a missing wheel." Consumer Reports ranked it dead last in reliability, and dealers started offering free snorkels. Not for rivers, but for the interior floods. Resale value? Let's just say you'd get more money selling the doors to a scrap artist. Want a real off-roader? Buy a Toyota Tacoma. Want to cosplay as a submarine captain? The Gladiator's ready to dive into your savings. Number 8, the 2022 Nissan Frontier. Meet the 2022 Nissan Frontier, a truck that proves anew and improved, sometimes means new and still broken. Nissan hyped this redesign as a fresh start, but owners quickly discovered it was just the same old mess in a fancier wrapper. Let's start with the 9-speed automatic transmission, which shifts gears like a caffeinated toddler playing with a light switch. One driver told me it's either slamming into gear or ghost shifting into neutral. There's no in between. And don't get me started on the infotainment system. It freezes more often than a Disney villain, rebooting mid-navigation to leave you stranded in a Walmart parking lot. Consumer Reports called it unfinished business, and mechanics are already stockpiling parts for the inevitable recalls. Resale value? Let's just say you'd get more money selling the floor mats to a car wash. Want a real mid-sized truck? Buy a Tacoma. Want to cosplay as a beta tester for Nissan's engineering interns? The Frontier's your ride. Number 7, the Chevrolet SSR, 2003-2006. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chevrolet SSR, a truck that tried to be a sports car, a convertible, and a pickup, and failed spectacularly at all three. This retro-themed disaster was GM's answer to the midlife crisis, priced at $42,000. Corvette money, but with the performance of a soggy waffle. Let's break it down. The retractable roof leaked like a sinking canoe. The 5.3 LV8 wheezed out 300 horsepower, slower than a minivan. And the bed was so tiny you couldn't even fit a cooler in it. Owners quickly realized they'd bought a $40K paperweight. One owner said, "I tried hauling a kayak, but the roof got stuck open and I became a mobile aquarium." Consumer Reports called it a Frankenstein vehicle with no purpose, and dealers dumped these with discounts steeper than the SSR's depreciation curve. Resale value. Let's just say you'd get more money selling the hubcaps as wall art. Want a real convertible? Buy a Miata. Want a real truck? Buy a Silverado. Want to cosplay as a confused carnival ride operator? The SSR's your ticket. Number 6, the Toyota T100, 1993 to 1998. Let's talk about the Toyota T100, the truck that proved even Toyota could strike out swinging. This was Toyota's first swing at a full-size pickup, and boy, did they miss. The T100 was stuck in no man's land, too big to be compact, too small to be useful, and too underpowered to tow a teardrop trailer. Toyota promised American-sized capability, but owners got American-sized disappointment. The 3.0-liter V6 engine, a whopping 150 horsepower, less than a modern Corolla. Dealers begged Toyota for a V8, but instead, they got a recall for head gaskets that failed faster than a New Year's diet. Consumer Reports praised its reliability, which just meant it broke down slowly. One owner told me, "I bought this to haul lumber. Now I haul regret." Toyota sold just 40,000 a year at its peak. Pathetic next to the F-150's 900,000. Resale value. Let's just say you'd get more money selling the owner's manual as a rare book. Want a real full-size truck? Buy an F-150. Want to cosplay as a disappointed pioneer? The T100's your covered wagon. Number 5. The Chevrolet Silverado Hybrid, 2009 to 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chevy Silverado Hybrid, a truck so eco-friendly, it made coal rolling look progressive. GM spent millions hyping this as the future of trucks, then forgot to tell owners the future involved tow trucks and lawsuits. Let's break it down. This hybrid system was co-designed by BMW and Chrysler, which is like letting 3 toddlers build a rocket. The result? A battery that overheated if you thought about towing, an electric motor that quit faster than a gym membership in February, and a fuel economy boost so tiny you'd save more gas by pushing the truck downhill. Only 1,500 people a year bought this thing, and 1,500 people instantly regretted it. One owner raged, "I paid $53K for this hybrid, and it gets worse mileage than the regular Silverado." Consumer Reports called it a $10,000 lesson in greenwashing, and GM quietly killed it after losing $50 million in warranty claims. Resale value? Let's just say you'd get more money selling the hybrid badges to a scrap metal artist. Want a real eco truck? Wait for the Cybertruck. Want to cosplay as a corporate guinea pig? The Silverado Hybrid's your radioactive lab rat. Number 4, the 2022 Ford Maverick Hybrid. Meet the Ford Maverick Hybrid, the truck that promised affordable eco-friendly adventure, but delivered overpriced driveway decor. Ford marketed this as the everyman's hybrid, but owners quickly learned everyman meant every man for himself. Let's start with the 2.5-liter engine, which spontaneously combusts if you think about towing. Yes, Ford issued a recall for fire risks, which is ironic for a truck that can't even handle a grocery run. One owner fumed, "I waited 8 months for this thing, only to get a letter saying don't park it near your house." The hybrid system? More like a $30,000 guilt trip. The battery dies faster than a phone at a concert. The CVT transmission whines like a toddler denied candy. And the bed is so flimsy, hauling mulch could void the warranty. Consumer Reports called it a lemonade stand pretending to be a truck. And dealers now offer free fire extinguishers with every purchase. Resale value. Let's just say you'd get more money selling the hybrid badge to a scrap metal sculptor. Want a real eco truck? Buy a Rivian. Want to cosplay as a disappointed Boy Scout? The Maverick's your $30,000 participation trophy. Say hello to the 2023 Chevrolet Silverado EV, GM's $100,000 electric revolution that's about as revolutionary as a flip phone in 2023. This truck was supposed to crush Tesla and Ford, but instead, it's crushing owners' dreams. GM promised 450 miles of range. Reality? Owners barely cracked 220 miles. And that's if you drive like a grandma on sedatives. The Ultium battery, more like Ulti-fail, prone to overheating, slow charging, and software glitches that make the truck forget it's a truck. One owner screamed, "I paid 6 figures for this thing and it can't even outrun a Prius." Consumer Reports called it unfinished and overpriced, while dealers are slashing prices faster than a Black Friday sale. Resale value. Let's just say you'd get more money selling the charging cable to a scrapyard. Want a real electric truck? Buy a Rivian. Want to cosplay as GM's beta tester? The Silverado EV's your $100,000 crash course in regret. Car number 2, 2022 Toyota Tundra. Brace yourselves, folks. This is the truck that broke Toyota's legendary reliability streak. The 2022 Tundra was supposed to be Toyota's crown jewel, but it turned out to be a crown of thorns. Consumer Reports ranked it dead last in reliability, a slap in the face to truck buyers who trusted the Toyota badge. Let's rip off the Band-Aid, the twin-turbo V6 engine, a $60,000 time bomb. Owners reported turbochargers failing before their first oil change, axles loosening like loose teeth, and a 14-inch touchscreen that freezes more often than a Yeti's Instagram. One owner raged, "I traded in my 200K mile Tacoma for this, and it died at 12K miles." Dealers are drowning in recalls, mechanics are hoarding parts like doomsday preppers, and Toyota's response? We're aware of the issues. Translation, pray harder. Resale value? It's dropping faster than Elon's Twitter reputation. Want a real truck? Buy a 10-year-old Tacoma. Want to cosplay as a corporate apology tour? The Tundra's your $70,000 nightmare. And finally, number 1, the 2023 GMC Hummer EV. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the king of failure. The 2023 GMC Hummer EV. This 100K super truck is so catastrophically bad, it makes subprime mortgages look like a safe investment. GM promised revolutionary electric power, but forgot to mention the revolution would be against their own customers. Let's talk specs. 9,000 pounds of innovation that gets 47 miles per gallon equivalent, worse than a gas-powered Tahoe. The watts to freedom mode, more like watts to bankruptcy, draining the battery faster than a Vegas high roller. Owners report tire blowouts from the absurd weight, software glitches that lock them inside the truck, and charging times so long you could watch the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy twice. You need a NASA team to fix this thing. I saw one in the wild. It needed a $30,000 battery replacement. Consumer Reports called it a parody of itself. Dealers are discounting these faster than Twitter's stock price. Resale value. You'd get more money selling the key fob to a meth addict. Want a real electric truck? Buy a Rivian. Want to cosplay as Elon's worst nightmare? The Hummer EV's your $100,000 ticket to therapy. Right now, smash that like button. Let's bury these trucks with your thumb up. If you made it this far, you're either